Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM.com, the World Center of Broadcast Media. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am the managing member of Classy Communications, a full-service media and marketing company. If you would like to learn how to bring greater recognition to your business, your organization, or yourself personally, please get in contact with us at 702-845-6129 or visit our website, classycommunications.net. We are broadcasting live from the Gene Woods Racing Experience in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Just a
throw stone distance. We don't throw stones all the time.
And now you don't even put your arm up and even do it anymore.
Throw stone.
Right.
Like this.
Quan has completely stolen my lead in, and the illustrious Quan is back for another week of the show. How have you been, Quan?
Doing wonderful, fabulous.
Yeah.
Especially with a sunny day in Vegas. Perfect weather, beautiful people, every day meeting someone, so wonderful, so exciting.
Yeah, this is an exciting
Never
time. We
complain.
have spring break. There are a lot of people coming into Las Vegas right now to celebrate their being on vacation
already
for spring break.
started. I wonder. Definitely it's a beautiful mood from first thing in the morning, open your eyes, the last thing on your mind and stay in the dream. Going to the dream was beautiful, beautiful dreams.
Yes, and as if you haven't noticed, we have true extremes in the studio today. We have
talk about.
Jeff Bearden. He is also the Giant Warrior. What are some of your other wrestling names? I know you.
I wrestled as Giant Warrior for a long time. Tiger Steel.
Warrior, Tiger
Steel, and then Colossus.
Yes. Jeff is a former professional wrestler who is now a motivational speaker, and he is the exact opposite. Quan is, what are you, 5'2"?
Yeah, 5'3".
5'3" and 7 feet.
Just a little bit of a difference. A couple of inches.
And his wife is just about as tall as
She
Quan
is. She's 5'3" as well.
Welcome to our show, Jeff.
Thank you.
And a good friend of mine, Raquel Sharper, you all know her. She is a guest host on the Guy Dawson Show, and she says, "I've got the perfect guest for you."
Oh,
and she introduced me to Jeff.
Mr. Tiger Steel and the claws. Perfect on this show.
Jeff, how'd you get into wrestling?
Well, I grew up in Amarillo, Texas. And back in the 70s, wrestling was a lot more territorial than what it is cable run as it is now. So Amarillo was one of the big territories that was run by the Funk family, Dory and Terry Funk. So I grew up with all of Dory Funk Jr.'s kids. We all went to school together. So that was, I had tickets to the wrestling matches every week, so I was always able to go to the shows. And I just really liked the wrestling. It's what I always wanted to do from watching it as a kid on television. And I got to know some of the wrestlers that were living there in town, and I talked to them about being a professional wrestler, and they said, go to college, get a degree, and then call us if you still want to do this stuff. So I went to college, played basketball in college, played professional basketball in Belgium, was burned out on basketball, came home and called them and told them I wanted to be a wrestler. So I went out to North Carolina and trained with Dory and Dick Murdoch, and been doing it ever since, 25 years.
Wow.
So you were pretty big at that time. That's why you're choosing wrestling?
I wasn't when I started. I mean, I was a typical basketball player.
Tall, skinny.
I was tall and skinny. I think I played pro ball in Belgium at like 250 maybe. Mm-hmm. And I think my first match I was 275, 280. Mm-hmm. But, at 7 foot tall and stuff, I was rare because it's just not, there's only 2,800 7-foot people in the world.
Really?
So out of 7.2 billion, you've got 2,800. So, I was able to take that, I guess, oddity or uniqueness that I have and be able to manage it into a career. I did a lot of shows overseas, and it was good for them because they weren't able to get people my size. And a lot of these places, when you go to Mexico and Japan, South Africa, they're not used to seeing people my size. So it was an oddity, and so for me to be able to come in, and it was kind of a draw similar to when Andre the Giant was back in his heyday. He was that oddity because you just didn't see 7-foot wrestlers. Now you've got a few of them out there, or guys that are close to 7 foot that say that they're 7 foot, and then I talk to them, and I'm 2 or 3 inches taller than they are. And he's like, well, I don't think you're 7 foot because I'm only a half inch over 7 myself. So
It's kind of like the way they do it in the NBA, where they
advertise me at 7'2", 7'3" all over the world. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody ever advertised me at 7 foot. I was always at least 7'2" and sometimes 7'3".
How do you prepare to become a professional wrestler? I mean, how do they train you for doing it?
It's a little bit different for me because I knew the guys that were my trainers, so they took a more personal interest in it. I didn't go to any kind of a school or anything like that where a lot of the guys and stuff go today to kind of learn how to wrestle. I was individually taught. And when I was working with Dory, he took me into the ring the very first day and he told me to get on all four on my hands and knees. He got behind, hooked me in an amateur move, said, okay, get away from me. And I couldn't do it. I had no wrestling background whatsoever. I was a basketball player. Mm-hmm. And, he said, now we're going to teach you how to wrestle in the ring and stuff professionally. And after that, it was just a matter of trying to find places to stay busy to where I was doing, more shows, so I got to learn. It was a feeling out process of learning how to read crowds and the fans and seeing what, where they were going with different things is where we went with matches. And so it was just a matter of staying as busy as possible to learn.
Do you have to grow some muscles, focusing onto that part to build? No, you do.
Yeah, because at my biggest, I was about 375. And I'm about 370 now. But at my biggest, I was 375, and God, I had like 23-inch arms, and so a lot bigger than what I am now. But it was a whole lot bigger than when I started. From time I started to finish, I almost put on 100 pounds and stuff then.
Oh, you should, because it look like a threatening to other people.
Yeah, you had to have that look. That was the look that people were wanting to see. A lot of wrestling had to do with aesthetics.
I would imagine you just came out from basketball player at the beginning, so you must be pretty fit and thin and tall. So all of a sudden you change, like shifting the career totally different. Oh, you need to grow, build something.
It was something completely different from basketball. completely different type of training because, in basketball they didn't want you to be big and bulky to play basketball. They like the long, lean look to play basketball, so you could get up and down the court more. And then once you got into wrestling, you're only having to work inside of an 18 or 20 foot square ring, so you didn't have to go very far.
And then there's the whole character part.
Yeah.
You have the athleticism that you have to be able to do the things that wrestlers do. And I was talking to Jeff about having worked on wrestling shows a lot of years over at the Thomas and Mack, and then you have to play the character. Right.
You've got to be able to put that together and try to find something that's different and unique from what everybody else is doing. When I first started, I did kind of a cowboy gimmick when I was wrestling as Butch Masters, but there had been so many cowboys throughout the years of wrestling and stuff, it was kind of dead. So when I went to Puerto Rico, I was wearing the makeup, and they gave me the name Giant Warrior when I was in Puerto Rico, and at that time the makeup was kind of a hot thing, and it wasn't really, but I think myself, Sting, and the Road Warriors were really about the only guys that were wearing makeup when I started. And then, of course, Demolition came in and, various other ones that were wearing the makeup. Mm-hmm. So I did the makeup for quite a while, and I was living in South Africa for 5 years. And out there, I'd been there for so long, I had to create a new character, and so I took some time off, and that's where I brought in the whole Tiger Steel.
Yeah, Jeff Bearden is the Giant Warrior, former pro wrestler turned motivational speaker. We'll talk about that a little bit when we get back from this commercial break.
Sure.
We will see you in a few minutes with more of The Guy Dawson Show.